You're a queen. Listen to me when I tell you this. Get in here, get in here, get in here. And sometimes you got to remind yourself of that so that you don't settle for somebody who's so much less than what you desire and most importantly, what you deserve. Get in here, get in here, get in here. Click like and click share. I got a story for you. And it's a very vulnerable story about a time in my life when I settled for a man who was so much less than what I deserved. But let me tell you this. While I got a whole lot of heartbreak, I got even better lessons. And I want to share with you so that you can hopefully avoid those same heartbreaks. All right. Y'all get in here, get in here, get in here. Okay. Listen, I am in South Africa, honey. So in appreciation, of the South African culture and the many tribes and cultures here, darling, I've got my beads on today, all right, darling? This is in celebration of this beautiful country that's welcomed me and allowed me to call it home, all right? Thank you so much. Y'all get in here, get in here, get in here, all right? So let me tell you this right now, okay? You know how it is when you a young girl, okay? And for the boys out there, call yourself a young man. It doesn't matter, darling. This is just a story for you all to get a lesson, okay? You know how when you was young and you pictured your Prince Charming, you pictured your perfect life, you pictured yourself having that wonderful job. Thank you so much, Shamika and Jacqueline and Pamela for sharing this video. When y'all share this video, call it out and let me know you shared it so that I can tell y'all I appreciate you, okay? You know how it is when you were young and you pictured the beautiful, ideal life that you wanted, and ultimately, once you got that life, you got a lot of things, but maybe what you didn't get was the man that you wanted. You realize that so much of your life is put into your career, put into your kids, put into everything else. But one thing that's neglected often is you and the romance that you truly desire. Have you ever felt lonely? Darlings, I can tell you I've experienced that. And then, you know, the thing is, we have to be careful when we're lonely because sometimes out of our loneliness, we can be drawn in, or actually we can become a magnet to attract to us people who are big, fine messes. And that was who I attracted, all right? Let me tell you a story, baby. Are y'all ready for it? You got a little time if you're at work? Put me in your ear set, all right, darling? Or for that matter, call your coworkers over because they watch me too. All right, y'all? So listen, darlings. So I remember this. I'm not going to tell you the year, but I will tell you this much. It wasn't that long ago. I was at a point in my life where I was working my behind off, darlings. I was working my behind off, okay? I was doing everything I needed to do. I was taking care of my family. And I put so much energy into my life that I wasn't putting anything into my love life, okay? Career was going fabulous, darling. Everything was going well, but I was being neglected, okay? And I don't mind going to bed alone, but at the end of the day, sometimes you want more. So anyway, I got a call from one of my good friends. My friend had this wonderful apartment, beautiful apartment, right? And he invited me over there. He says, honey, I'm having a party. You know that one friend who always brings the right people together? And so I said, I'll come over there. I'll come. Yeah, I kept on saying, no, thank you. I won't come. No, thank you. I was busy, you know. But I said, I'm going to come to this particular party. So I came to the little gathering, okay, and I didn't come empty-handed, okay? When I come to your house, I'm going to either bring you a nice bottle of whatever you like to drink, or I'm going to bring you a nice plant, okay? That's me, okay? I always want to be memorable. Even if I ain't drinking it, I still want to bring you something nice. So anyway, I go over there, and I came a little late because I had some things I had to take care of. And so when I walk into this party, who is standing right there at the door, right? He goes to open the door because my friend lived in one of these apartment buildings where you have to go down to the desk will buzz you up, and when you get upstairs, you come in. So anyway, I'm coming up to his apartment, and next thing I know, as the guy opens the door, I thought my friend's gonna open it, I look, and this man is big and fine, okay? Let me say this. I'm about 5'7", 5'8" on a good day. Thank you so much, Shanti and Jean for sharing this video and Shauna for sharing this video. Let me know y'all share so I can call y'all out. So anyway, I come in, this man is super fine. I'm expecting my friend to answer the door who's a little short queen like me, but not this time, okay? So this man opens the door and I'm like, hi. And he's shocked. He's like, hi. And he said, I thought you were the food delivery. I said, no, I'm so-and-so's friend. And I thought you were the one who opened the door. He's like, no. And so anyway, as I'm like reaching out my hand to say, you know, nice to meet you or whatever, next I know the food delivery come up behind me, food. And I was like, oh shoot. So anyway, he grabs the food. That kind of just broke that moment up right there. But he had caught my eye, I had caught his eye, and I'm watching him all night. But I'm doing it real slick like. You see what I'm saying? When he would walk by, I would just look. I don't like to look too long. Okay, girls, you have to make sure you practice your look where you just kind of look and look away. Look, then look away, okay? I'm teaching you something, okay? Honey, just because I may have had a period of time in my life I ain't had no man don't mean I ain't know how to keep one or catch one, okay? I didn't have the time to go looking, all right? But I know how to catch a man, honey. You want to go fishing for a man, listen to old MJ, all right? Auntie knows. So anyway, I kept looking and looking. So here was my trick on how I got him to come over and talk to me, okay? So as I was because my friend had cooked all this food in his kitchen. He had one of those kitchens that was kind of like a U-shaped kitchen. So he made all this food in his kitchen. And so I was going down the line, like adding food to my plate, right? But then I realized that my friend didn't have any like clean forks or knives out. And I noticed that the dude was standing sort of beside the bar area. And so I'm like looking around. Now, I know how to find a fork or a knife, and I know how to clean one if one is dirty. But honey, I need to look a little helpless, all right? Ladies, listen, men love an old helpless somebody every now and then. Just be a little helpless. And it works. So anyway, I'm looking around and I'm like, I'm looking bewildered and confused, you know? And then he says, did you need something? I was like, yeah, I just can't seem to find clean utensils. Now, mind you, I've cooked in my friend's house. I know where everything is. I organized the cabinets, okay? So I'm like, I can't seem to find clean utensils. And he was like, what about right there? And I was like, oh, there? And I was like, thank you. I was like, but they're still dirty. I want something clean. He's like, don't worry, I got it for you. And I was like, thank you so much. So I go and I sit down and I'm up here eating, just eating. And he's looking over at me. And I keep on looking away. Girls, okay, now here's what I'm ignoring in this moment in time. I'm not the only person looking at him. I can see everybody else in the room looking at him because he's fine as hell, okay? Let me describe him, okay? He's at least a good 6'3", 6'4", tall. Okay, he's very tall, okay? And I'm not a height girl. I love all heights, but this one was tall, okay? Let me tell you this, okay? Big feet, big hands, big lips, okay? Beautiful skin, dark as night, just gorgeous, beautiful white teeth and everything like that. And he was so fine, you could tell he knew he was fine, okay? And everybody's looking at him, so I don't want to do too much to get his attention, but whatever. I'm sitting here, I'm out and about, and I had not been out in quite a while. I had not gotten a lot of attention from men in a while, and so I just like... I don't care how much you say you don't really want somebody, you're not really looking for nobody. When you're in the presence of somebody who could be a somebody, sometimes it gets you excited. Thank you so much, Latoya and Cassandra, for sharing this video. Y'all, when y'all share this video, call out that you shared it so I can say thank you, okay? So anyway, I'm over there eating, I'm looking at him, and then eventually my friend was like, hey, who want to play spades? Well, I'm a spades kind of girl, honey, and I play to win, okay? Don't play with me. Don't let this little cute face fool you, okay? I'm a shark when it comes to spades, okay? So I was like, I'll play. And then he's like, well, you need a partner. And then so I'm looking around. Who says, I can play too? Homeboy, okay? Let's call him DeAndre. So DeAndre says, I can play too. And so I was like, you want me a partner? He's like, you're not going to renege? I said, sit down. Right? So he sit down, honey. We playing, we winning. We just winning. I even ran a Boston one time, honey. We winning. I can tell he's impressed by me. So anyway, we played for like hours. We're talking. But you know how it is when you're playing spades or bid whist. You're not really having a lot of conversation. So we just kind of making eye contact occasion, but we're not really doing too much, right? So when the spades game ended, he's out in the balcony. What did my fast tail do? Go out there in the balcony. Now he out there smoking what he's smoking. Okay, he grown. It's legal then. So anyway, and so he out there. So I walked out there with him, and that's not my thing. But I was like, let me just going out there with him. And I was just like, you good? He's like, I'm good at many things. Girl, that's what he said to me. He said, I'm good at many things. I said, oh. I said, well, I was talking about spades. What you talking about? He said, he just laughed. He said, where you from? He got an accent on you. I was like, well, I'm originally from Texas, but I spent a lot of my life in the DC metro area too. He's like, okay, cool. He's like, I'm from wherever, He's from Phoenix, right? He's like, I'm from Phoenix. I was like, oh, okay. I was like, I never really spent a whole lot of time there. I was like, how is it this? We started talking, making small talk. And, he's doing what he's doing. We just sit out there talking, and it just was going really, really well, having a nice conversation. Anyway, as the night goes along, I'm like, I gotta go. I gotta head out of there. And he's like, I gotta go. I'm like, I'm gonna head out. It was really nice meeting you. And so he's like, take my number. And so I was like, okay, cool. So I take his number. And then as I'm leaving to go out, I'm going down. Why do I instantly get a text message from him before I can even get out the lobby, right? And then he's like, hey, didn't you say you live in XYZ area? I was like, yeah. And he was like, oh, cool. He's like, I hope you don't mind, but I should have paid attention to the sign, right? He said, I hope you don't mind, but would you mind if I roll with you in that direction if I actually live in that same direction? And of course, I wanted to know, well, where's your car? Where's your transportation? But on the same page, I'm like, girl, you know, your friends keep on telling you that you're not really easy to get to know, and you know when it comes to dating, so maybe this is like his slick way of trying to just be around you, whatever. My friend know him; he's safe. I'm not worried about him hacking me into a bunch of pieces in my car. I'm good. You know what I'm saying? I felt good, and so. So anyway, thank you for sharing this video, Chance, as well as Nikki and Linda. Thank you for sharing this. When y'all share, call it out. So I was like, I said, meet me in the lobby. You can walk me to my car. And so he comes down. So he gets in the car. And as soon as he gets in the car, he's like, thank you so much. He said, my car is just in the shop right now. So I was going to just Uber back. But if you head in the same direction, I figured I'd ride with you and it'd be a good excuse to actually, continue our conversation. I was like, okay, that was slick. I like that. Right? So we get in the car, we riding back. As soon as we get in the car, my music cut on, honey. Tina Marie came on, right? So we singing along with it, honey. Go from Tina Marie to Anita Baker. I had my playlist. My playlist go from the Clark sisters to Tina Marie to Michael Jackson to Luther Vandross to, of course, the queen herself, Whitney Houston, all right? It go to everybody. Beyonce. I can never not have a playlist about Beyonce on it, right? So anyway, we just singing along to everything, having a good time, and he feeling real good about himself because, his when he's doing that doctor, so he feeling real chill. And so he's like, you hungry? I was like, I could eat. Nah, I could always eat, girls. I could always eat. I'm not one of these skinny girls who's like, oh, I'm good. No, baby, I can always eat, okay? And if he treating, baby, I can always eat. So I was like, I can eat. He's like, well, let's go on to what's his name? To Mel's Diner, right? I was like, oh, ain't that like on Sunset or whatever? It's somewhere over there. He's like, yeah, let's go on over there. I was like, hey, cool. All right, so hit it on over there, honey. I'm like, it's late at night, honey. I hadn't been out like that in a while. You know how it is when you so used to your flow. You get up, you do your work, you go to bed, you do the same thing over and over and over again. You see your same bald-headed best friends every weekend. So I'm like, this is something different. We out late at night, gallivanting in the streets and stuff. I was like, let's go. So we go all the way out to Mel's. We sit there. And we sit there eating and talking. And as we eating and talking, I looked at him. I was like, this man has the most beautiful eyes. I want you to picture this, okay? He was a very melanated, darker brother, okay? But I want you to picture his eyes. His eyes were like a grayish green. How did I not notice that before? These were the most beautiful eyes. I think when I kept looking, I was glancing. And I'm looking at his eyes. I'm like, this is just such a unique set of eyes on him. And then as we're sitting there talking more, we're sitting in one of those big booth kind of things, and then he comes over to me. He says, let me sit on that side with you, right? We'd already finished eating. He's like, oh, let me sit over there with you. And then he comes and sit beside me, puts his arm around me, and we're just talking in the diner, talking. People are coming and going. Girls, why was I being fast? He said to me, he said, can I still get a ride? Can I still get a ride with you when we leave? I was like, yeah, sure, I'll drive you home. He said, what if I want to go to your home? I said, what you mean? I don't know you like that. He goes in his pocket, pulls out his ID. He said, there you go. Now you do. I said, you know what I did? Grabbed my phone, took a picture of it. Since it's one of my good homegirls. I said, you want to come to my house? He said, yeah, girls, okay, let's just be real about it, okay? I'm big and grown. He's big and grown. It's like a why not kind of night, right? It was one of those why not kind of nights, right? And I ain't had no man up in my house in a long time, okay? So I was like, okay, let's just see. So anyway, we get to my house, right? The minute we walked in the door, all I'm saying, the minute we walked in the door, I'm not saying anything else. The minute we walked through the door, on and popping. Click like and click share, all right? You know where I think the passion came from for me? It was just all that pent up energy. Okay, it was all that loneliness. It was all that, honey, ain't been touched by nothing but my bedspread, okay? It was that stuff. I was not a girl running the streets. I was not that girl. Now, in my younger years, honey, I was built. They say you've been around the block. Girls, I built the block back in the day. But by this time in my life, I wasn't running the streets, honey. I was just being a good, responsible girl. And so anyway, I was like, you know what? Why not? And honey, we had a wonderful time. The next morning we got up, and when I wake up, I smell food in my kitchen cooking. He down there cooking, okay? I ain't had that much food in there, but he was down there cooking, right? I go down there, girls, I'm coming down to my kitchen. I remember this sight like no other time, okay? I walked into my kitchen and I see this big, tall, barefoot man in there, just big and tall, okay? And he's standing over there, just over there, he moving like he know what he doing, right? Girl, he ain't got nothing on but some white boxer shorts. And I'm seeing that he got a back on him, muscles. I'm seeing his muscles flexing as he's cooking. Thank you so much. Girls, for a second there, when I walked in the kitchen, all I could do was just stare. I just stood there and stared into the kitchen like this. I'm standing in the kitchen doorway just like this, like, who is this man in my house? Am I dreaming? And I remembered the night before, I'm like, oh my God. You know what I'm thinking? I'm like, this is a fantasy, but you know what I'm thinking? I can't wait to call my best friend and tell her all about this, okay? You know how it is? When you have a night so good, you're just looking forward to calling your best friend and telling her, like, girl, guess what happened? Okay? She be at work like, girl, just step out. I know you don't smoke, but say you got to take a cigarette break, okay? Because you just got to tell her right then and there, okay? It was one of those times, right? Thank you so much, Kawana and Chelsea, for sharing this video. So listen, okay? So anyway, I'm just standing there staring like this, like, Next thing I know, this king turns around and he said, you gonna stay over there, you gonna help me? He swam out the corner of his eye the whole time. You gonna keep staring or you gonna help me? I said, oh. I was like, oh, I'm sorry, I just was daydreaming. He's like, you wasn't daydreaming, you was staring. I was like, whatever. And so we just had a nice time. Girl, I spent the whole day with him, on and popping again, okay? Whew, spent basically the weekend with him. And then from there, we started hanging out, having a good time. Now, one of the things that should have stood out to me, and I'm gonna tell you, honey, I should have paid attention, okay? But I noticed that every time when we would hang out, he would pull up in like a Uber, right? Now, there's nothing wrong with Uber at all. I love taking those car services. But this is a man who says he has a car. Now, this happened for week after week after week. And I'm like, what kind of car issues take that long to get fixed? I noticed that, number one. I noticed, number two, this happened around the third date, right? When we were leaving the date, because remember, we lived in the same direction. When we were leaving the date, he had said to me, I called my Uber because I didn't want to drive that night. And so I called my Uber to take me home. And he said to me, hey, you know, we're going in the same direction. You know, I want to spend I want to spend more time with you. Just add me to your ride, right? You know, you can have multiple stops or whatever. Now, I'm thinking in my mind, oh, you just want to keep spending time with me. We head in the same direction. Might as well take the same one. That happened that time. But then I noticed it happened increasingly more. I noticed another time a little while later, okay? Now, I know y'all saying, MJ, you was being dumb, but I'm going to explain why in a minute, okay? Because some of y'all be doing dumber stuff than this, okay? Listen, okay? We're here to heal, all right? Not to judge, but I'm going to tell you, okay? And so anyway, now I know it's another time when we was out to eat, the bill came, and when the bill came, his phone instantly rang. I didn't even hear it ringing. He's like, oh, shoot, let me take this call. I'll be right back, okay? So I'm sitting there like, okay, I'll wait for him to come back so he can hit this bill, you know, something, right? Because he had invited me out. He was out for such a long time. The server kept coming up like, hey, you know, we got to wrap up. I need to close out. So I'm like, okay, well, here's my card or whatever. But I didn't mind paying a bill, but on the same page, you know, I'm like, that was a little sus for me, a little suspect, right? Comment below, honey. Have you ever been played before? Because I'm about to tell you a story about how a girl got played like a fiddle, okay? But I had a good time along the way, honey, okay? You got to watch out for these men who going to play you the worst, honey, because those be the main ones, honey, who will. Honey, they know what they doing. They masters, if you know what I mean. They masters of doing what they do. All right, they know how to make sure that you are so pleased and pleasured that you don't even notice that you being played. Okay, so listen, all right. So that happened, and of course, I didn't want to tell my friends about none of this. So when they would ask me about what's going on with him, I'm like, he's good. I would leave out all like the little stuff. You know what I mean? I would leave out the stuff. I would leave out the, you know, girl, where, you know, like yesterday, you know, he ain't had no money for the bill. I would leave out that, the other day he asked me, you know, he claimed that he lost his card and he asked me to help him with his Uber ride, I would leave that kind of stuff out because really and truly, if I'm being honest with you, and tell me if you can relate to this, okay? Or if you've ever had an experience like this. I was ignoring the red flags because deep down, I was lonely. Deep down, I liked the attention because when you in your life, you doing your job, you taking care of your family, Yes, you get attention and appreciation, but it's not the same kind of attention and appreciation that you get from a love interest, a partner. So I felt deprived of that, and I didn't know that I was deprived of that. That's why we got to be honest with ourselves. If you feel lonely, you need to be honest with yourself about that, because if you can be honest with yourself about that, then you can know that you're vulnerable to people taking advantage of that. But because I wasn't honest with myself about that, I didn't realize that that's what was magnetizing me to him, that I wasn't attracted to him. I was attracted to the role that I was hoping that he would serve in my life. I was attracted to the void that he was feeling. I was attracted to the intimacy that I was getting that I felt so deprived of, but I didn't realize I was so deprived of it, okay? So I was an independent woman. I ain't want to talk about all that. I'm good, honey. My life is full and blessed. I'm blessed and lonely, blessed and untouched. Okay, listen. So I didn't want to tell my friends about it because on the same page, I didn't want them to judge him, because for me, I put so much energy into rationalizing his insufficiencies that literally my thing is I didn't want my friends to see him for who he really was. Click like and click share on this. Okay, so let's go on with the story. So long story short, one day I decided I'm going to talk to him about this, okay? And this came after we went on a weekend trip. Girls, this weekend trip was a nightmare and a mess, okay? So we're supposed to go on this weekend trip. Girls, why does he show up to go on this weekend trip, right? And once we get on the trip, girls, guess what happened? Guess what happened when we get on the trip? Click like and click share. Thank you, Jacqueline and Monica. Guess what happened when we got on the trip? We get on the trip, right? And when we get there, I remember this. He was supposed to handle the rental car, right? We're at the rental car place. Sir, this card is declined. He's like, oh, let me get this other one. Sir, this card is declined. Oh, shoot. Hold on, let me call my bank. So I'm just standing there like waiting it out. I'm like, just fix it. He comes back over to the counter and he looks at me and he's like, babe, would you actually mind handling this? You know, I couldn't get in touch with the bank. I guess their weekend hours a little short. What bank you with that don't got hours on Saturday morning, right? So, and then the girl behind the counter, okay, she was a good sis. Okay, she looked at me and she said, She raised her eyebrow like that, like, Girl, I felt seen. I felt exposed, but I appreciate the confirmation. So I'm like, yeah, here you go. I was like, here you go. I was like, you can just swipe and put it on mine. In fact, upgrade the car because he didn't pick the kind that I wanted. All right, so I got to pay for him. I want something that's cute, right? Upgrade that, okay? So I'm a little bit peeved at this, okay? A little peeved. He can feel in the car. I'm one of these girls, okay, where if I'm upset, I'm not going to yell, I'm not going to scream, but you're going to feel it. You see what I'm saying? So I'm like, no, I'm fine. So then we get to the house. Now, you know, what do the low down, no good, nothing else kind of men do when they know that you a little pissed with them, okay? What they do? They go for the one skill that they know that they always are good at, that bedroom, okay? As soon as we got into that cabin, girl, he up here, come here, baby, just give me a hug. Come here, why you acting like this? I'm like, I'm good. I just want to unpack. Come on, baby, just give me a hug. Why you acting like this? Come on. Eventually, I gave in. I go in to give him a hug, baby. I smelled that good scent. Oh, he smells so good. I felt that chest. His chest was so built. Oh, my God. And girl, before I know it, honey, Jericho's walls came tumbling down, if you know what I mean. Baby! Honey, I forgot about every piece of trifling that this man was showing himself to be, honey, all right? Girl, I was like, well, I mean, it is what it is. So anyway, we laying there, and he look at me, and he like, baby, you know I'm really trying, right? I was like, I know, but I mean, it just was kind of annoying, but you know, it's cool. He's like, no, I'm really trying, you know. I'm sorry about that. It was an inconvenience. Why would I come on a trip without a working card? That don't even make sense. Think about that. I was like, well, yeah, you are right. And you know, girls, how is it that we be directors of companies? We have 85 different degrees and stuff like that. Be damn near rocket science. But we will convince ourselves to be stupid just to hold on to somebody that we know is lying to us, okay? I was like, well, I mean, that is true here, because I mean, nobody would go that far without a card that worked. Girl, this don't make no sense. And by this time, I'm so deeply invested, I don't want to tell my best friend about what's going on. Because my best friend, honey, that girl's Inspector Gadget and highly intuitive. She would research and find out information and tell me, nah. So you don't bring in my best friend, and damn sure don't bring in my mama, okay? Because my mother, honey, she better than the CIA, okay? You don't bring in those girls until you ready for the truth, okay? So I was just like, whatever. Girl, you would not believe what happened later on in this trip, okay? Like I said, he was a big, fine mess, okay? So later on in this trip, listen to this, okay? So we got there like on a Saturday. I had taken off Monday from work. That way I could be there for a good weekend with him, right? Because normally that's what I'll do. I'll like travel from Friday to Sunday or Saturday to Monday, something like that. I want an extended time. So anyway, this is Saturday when we arrived, right? Sunday morning. Listen to me. Sunday morning, right? I wake up and I don't feel my big fine body pillow beside me. I'm talking about him, okay? Thank you, Deborah and Louisa, for sharing this video, okay? When y'all share, let me know, okay? I don't feel him beside me. So I wake up. Now, normally, just go back to sleep, wait for him to come back in the room, maybe in the bathroom, maybe he cooking. I ain't smell no food cooking either, okay? Because the house ain't that big, right? We just rent a little cabin. And so I'm like, where is he? I go, I look out. He's not in the kitchen area. Like it's one of those kitchen, dining room, living rooms, everything together. He's not there. I go, I look out front. Girls, listen to me when I tell you this right now, okay? I look out front. The car is not there. Listen, okay? The car is not there. The car that I rented, okay? So you know I'm peeved at this. I don't even know if this man got car insurance like that, right? And so I'm looking around. I look on the back patio. He not back there. It was one of these houses on like a slope. I look down jacuzzi area. He not there. It was on the water. I look down by the water. He not there. I'm like, where is he? Where is he? Where is he? I'm just about to go and grab my cell phone so that I could call him to find out where he is. Listen, girls, I'm telling you what happened, okay? I'm about to go to get my cell phone. Next thing I know, I hear zzz, 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 right? What is this zzz sound? What is this zzz sound? I'm looking around. Zzz. Girls, it's coming from his carry-on bag. He had this beautiful book bag, okay? Can afford such a nice bag. Why can't you afford a doggone rental car? Another story for another time. So anyway, I goes to the bag. I don't know, he could have been abducted by aliens at night. I don't know what happened, okay? So I'm not being nosy, honey. I'm trying to figure out how to protect this man. So I go to the bag. Listen, girls. I open the bag. Listen to me. So I go looks in the bag. I'm looking in there, and girls, never snoop. Never look in your man's phone. Now, I'm just saying, don't ever look. But if you look, be prepared for what you find, okay? All right, so I go look, because he's not around. So I'm like, what's going to happen? Where's this man at? He didn't tell me he's going nowhere. Zzz. There's not a phone in the bag. But guess what was in there? An iPad. Thank you, Lydia and Dolores, for sharing this video, as well as Thelma, okay? Now, here's the thing y'all got to keep in mind about these here iPads, okay? And these various phones that connect to different things, and they're all on the same account. What you text on one device might show on another device. What you put on the cloud, can I get an amen, on one device, honey? Listen, the right hand always knows what the left hand is doing when you have these types of devices. I didn't know that, but what I did here was... I go and I open it up. The iPad's in there, right? I see this iPad sitting right there. I'm like, oh, the messages are popping up on the screen, right? And what I'm seeing is it looks like someone's responding to him. Because I don't see his message, but I'm reading the messages. And it looks like it's a very emotional conversation, almost like an argument that's taking place right now. And cause I saw the thing, it's like, why'd you hang up on me, everything like that? How you just gonna leave me for the weekend just like this? Who are you with? Da-da-da-da. Are you cheating again? I'm reading all this, right? From the message coming in. So I'm like, do I unlock it? Right? So I go to try to unlock it. I'm like, shoot, I don't have his passcode. Girls, I kid you not. I'm like, I can't try it but so many times with the wrong passcode. Because I'm going to open this at this point in time, okay? And based on what I read, I'm like, I got to open this, okay? It just is what it is, right? If somebody's so crazy into my phone, you should probably do the same thing. If you're in a relationship, I just feel like, come on now. And we're in a relationship, but still, you know, we enjoying each other's company in an intimate way. I deserve to know what's going on, okay? So anyway, I'm like, what is this passcode? What is this passcode? What is this passcode, right? You remember when we was at the rental car counter and his card wasn't working and he kept on trying to put his pin in over and over again because like, why isn't it working? Why is it working? Girl, I was standing right beside him. And I got a photographic memory. I wasn't trying to look, but I was standing right beside him. And I got a good memory. And I saw him type in that code like 2 or 3 times because he was trying to get it to work. And he had the same code. Because remember, he tried 2 cards. And so I saw him type the same code in on multiple times on both cards as he's trying to prove that his broke behind had a card that worked. So I saw the code. And I didn't mean to file it away in my mind. I didn't mean to. I had no intention of using his card, of course. But I just saw the code. I mean, he typed it in at least 4 times. 2 on the first card, 2 on the second time. How could you not remember the code, girls? You forgive me for having a good memory, darling. So anyway, I said, what if I try that? Do. Whoo! What I saw. So of course I go straight to the text messages. He's texting with a woman named Yvonne. Okay? Yvonne. What I could deduct from the messages was that he had just hung up on her when they was in some kind of exchange. And she was saying, I'm trying to reach you back, answer your phone, who are you away with? What I could deduct was that this person believed that they are in some form of relationship with him. Why would they not believe that if she's asking where you at? Are you cheating again? Listen. Okay, and I'm assuming it's a woman. And I'm going to tell you how I validated that. Because you know how you can go up and you can click on the name and you can see past files sent between each other, pictures and stuff like that? Girl, I did that. Girl, I see pictures being sent. I see, what y'all think I see in these pictures? What y'all thought I saw in these pictures? Girl, I saw a damn family photo. Now I said maybe they uncle, right? I go through. So where do you think I went to next to validate my suspicions? I go to Instagram. Yes, I knew him on Instagram. I didn't follow him, okay? I didn't want people in my business seeing I was following him like that and, vice versa, okay? That's just me. I'm private about my stuff, okay? But I knew his account, right? So anyway, I went to his Instagram, and I would check it occasionally, just occasionally. But I went to his Instagram. I go on there, and the one that I had, that I knew about, I didn't ever see these people on there. So I go to his Instagram. On the bottom of Instagram, when you hold down the person's icon, you see all their other accounts is linked to their account. I see the other one. I didn't know he had another Instagram account. Girl, happy Father's Day post in there. All kinds of stuff in there, okay? Scroll down. Why I see a wedding photo? A wedding photo. Listen to me when I say this. From not 1, not 2, not 3, not 4, but from 5 years ago. And when I clicked on the wedding photo, because girl, I'm going for blood at this point in time. He could walk in on me going through the phone, honey, okay? Mother can fight, all right? I'm good, okay? I'm not encouraging y'all to do that, all right? But anyway, so I'm going through. I click on the wedding photo. Of course, he tagged the woman, Yvonne, right? It was like Y-dot, something like that. Anyway, so I click it. Boop, boop, right? To go to her profile. Now, in a lot of cases, these women be posting more about the man than the man do. So if you ever suspect something, going through his page don't mean nothing. Go to the woman you suspecting, right? So go through her page. She got everything on there, blah, 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 blah. And you know what the real giveaway was? On her page, listen to me when I say this, okay? She had all those little subliminal kind of like posts on there about, when if somebody's not doing you right, move on with your life. All you got is you, me, myself, and that. She posted all this subliminal stuff, which is clearly directed at him, right? I'm like, oh my gosh. So I'm like deducting what's going on in the relationship, okay? And this was going back years. You see like crazy posts, like with her posting these little things and like, the little subliminal things, and in happy periods of time. Sad things, then happy things. Their relationship is a roller coaster, okay? So I'm like, hold on. You know that song, I'll be the only one, I'll be the other woman as long as I'm the only other woman? I was like, well, clearly I'm the other woman, but am I the only other woman? Not that would have validated it, but I want to see. Thank you so much, Antoinette and Latrell and Beth for sharing this video. So anyway, when y'all share it, call it out so I can let y'all know. I can say thank you. So I'm not done, y'all. Listen, okay? because I got a lesson for y'all. So anyway, I was like, you know what? All right, Kitty. That's what I call myself in my head. All right, Kitty. Okay? I said, Kitty, why don't you go ahead? You know, sometimes you got to talk to yourself. I said, Kitty, why don't you go ahead and go through some of the other messages in there, okay? So here's how I figured out which messages to go through. I went to his FaceTime on his iPad to see who does he call the most. I don't care if it said Domino's Pizza, men be lying and saving things under fake names. Whoever he had in it that he called the most, I went to their messages. Girl, why did I do that? I was mad about the woman who's obviously his wife, but babe, okay? He was texting with this other guy, okay? And I don't want to tell you about the kind of pictures they were sending back and forth, okay? He had another woman in there, okay? And this bra was beautiful, okay? I'm like, damn, okay? He clearly got good taste because all of us is beautiful, right? I'm like, well, damn, okay? And this is recent stuff. I'm looking at this. So, of course, what I started doing was I went through my calendar because I put lots of things on my calendar. So I started going through my calendar, be like, hold on. I didn't see him on this day. So I start looking for text messages on those days. I'm saying that he's out with other people on those days. Girls, you got to be Inspector Gadget sometime, okay? So I'm going through this. So I called up my best friend. I was like, girl, guess what I just found? He's like, what? I said, guess what I just found? He's like, what? I said, so he left out and I told him the whole story. And he said, I said, what am I supposed to do? Right, and the Wi-Fi whistle, he ain't even there, right? I was like, what am I supposed to do? And so he said, well, first of all, you need evidence because, you know, guys like that gonna lie. So this is a tip for y'all, okay? He said, go ahead and don't take screenshots of it because if you take screenshots and send it to yourself, clearly his devices are connected and it's gonna pop up on his other phone, right? So don't send yourself a screenshot. What you do is take your phone and take pictures of the screen. That's why you gotta have smart friends. Thank you, Dawn and Jeffrey, for sharing this video. He said, take pictures of the screen, okay? Take pictures of the screen. So I'm taking pictures of the screen, every little thing, taking pictures of the screen, okay? I'm like, So I'm doing all that, but I gotta go fast. I don't know when he's coming back. I got my best friend on the phone too. So my best friend on speaker. I'm like, hold on. I got this, right? Found video. Girl, I don't even want to tell you about the videos because y'all may have your kids around that, honey, these videos. I'm like, why y'all filming yourself doing that kind of stuff? Even if you ain't cheating, don't film yourself doing that kind of stuff, honey. You may want to run for president one day. Anyway, I take all these pictures, right? And right as I'm getting to the last picture, next thing I know, I hear a car pull up out front. It's him. I hear, boom, he slams the door real hard. Clearly something's mad. This argument has affected him. So I go, I'm like, oh shoot. So I throw the thing back into the bag. I don't even remember what position it was. I forgot where the bag was at 100%. I was gonna put it back there. And girl, I go running. I run to that bed, take my clothes off, jump into the bed, and then he come in. And I hear the door slam real hard behind him. Babe, is that you? Is that you, baby? Yeah. I'm back. I was like, where were you? I just went out. He getting snappy at me. Now, here's the thing. At first, I was thinking, how do I bring this up? Because how do you confront somebody about something that you found when you was digging through their stuff, right? But I was like, do I bring this up? Also, I've never been in confrontation with this man before, so some people can be real nightmares when you confront them, okay? Where some people may even could get physically, aggressive towards you. So I'm like, I don't know how he is in that situation. He's very much so bigger than me. How am I supposed to handle this? Who, honey? My inner Halle Berry had to come out, okay? Because it's Sunday. We scheduled to be there until Monday. So I'm like, don't bring it up, right? So I was like, oh, okay, cool. I was like, well, I hope everything's okay. Next thing I know, he's like, it's cool. And then he says, so he goes into the dining room, and then I see him looking around. He said, babe, you saw my bag? I was like, shoot, did I put the bag back in the same place I got it? I was like, what bag? He said, my carry-on bag. I was like, I don't know where it's at. I don't know. I'm lying, if I say this on the couch in the living room, how do I know the pinpointed place that it's at? I was like, I don't know where it's at. I'm not sure, right? And then he was like, oh, okay. And then he goes, and I could hear him going towards the living room area where the bag is at. But then it occurred to me that all the notifications are no longer showing on the lock screen because I had just gone in the phone. I mean, in the little iPad thing. So I was like, okay, what's, think quick. And I said, I'm going to call you to see where it's at, right? So I called him Because by calling him, the screen's going to start ringing. It's going to take away all the notifications. Then therefore, I can just go straight to where it's at. I'm like, here it is, baby, and answer it. Knocks all the notifications off the screen. Okay, I'm just saying. Okay? A girl got to think quick, right? And so I was like, let me call and see where it's at. Maybe it'll ring. Right? And so I go, and it's ringing, and immediately I bolt out that bag. Here it is, baby, it's in your bag. Zoop. I was like, look, I'm calling you, and it's on right now. And he's like, okay. He just takes it out of my hand. And I'm like, you okay, baby? He's like, I'm good. And he says, how you feel about us flying back early? Music to my ears. Cause I'm like, how am I supposed to fake it for the next 2 days? I was like, by early, what you mean? Because we're supposed to go back tomorrow. He's like, you don't think we can go back today? I'm like, well, what's the rush? I just feel like I need to get back. Gotta get back to that wife because she mad. And so I was like, it's cool. I was like, we may have to call and see if they can move the flight up. I don't know how much that's gonna cost. He was like, don't worry, I'll give it back to you. I'll give it back to you with the rental car money. I was like, okay. Whew. I called up Delta. I didn't care if it cost my kidney. I wanted to go back. So we got the flight moved up early. We got back. We flew out that night, got back or whatever. It was real quiet, real awkward, but I just felt like he was in a bad mood. He didn't know what was going on with me. Girls, we get back. And on this plane ride back, I'm thinking of what my strategy is going to be, okay, girls? So let me tell you this, okay? Can I give you a tip? When you catch a man cheating, don't you ever immediately confront him. Listen, I'm telling you, this applies to the men towards women, women towards women, men towards men. Listen, when you catch somebody cheating, don't you ever confront them. Because when you confront them, you're teaching them how to cheat better. Because what they're going to do, is they're going to lie to you, just like they've probably lied to you before, and just like they've lied to many other people. So don't you confront them. You act like you don't know anything. What you do instead is you make a decision. Am I ready to leave? If you're ready to leave, then what you do is you spend your mental energy not on confronting them, but on making a plan to leave. Because when you confront people, you're teaching them how to lie better. Because you're going to confront them and you tell them how you found what you found out. And then what are they going to do? They're going to learn to lie better and hide better. Never confront them. Make your plan on what you're going to do and execute your plan. So on my plane ride back, I'm sitting there, honey. Baby, I'm cool as a cucumber when I'm mad. I'm cool as a cucumber. The cooler I am, be more scared. Okay? So I'm sitting there and I'm just like, on the whole plane ride, I'm just, And y'all know what's my favorite song to listen to when I'm mad as hell. Okay, y'all may have heard from a past story time, okay? You know that Jennifer, it's the, what's his name? I know Jennifer Holliday's version, Giving Up. Giving up is so hard to do. When you've really loved someone, giving up. You know that song? So hard to do. I was listening to that song on replay in my headphones on the thing. And every time he would talk to me on the plane, I pull my headphones. I'm like, yes, baby. He's like, you good? I'm great, baby. I had a whole list of what I'm going to do, okay? Some of the stuff I was like, I can't do that because I could get arrested. Don't do that, okay? You got to let your mind wander off or bring her back. You can't go too crazy, all right? I'm like, giving up. I'm just thinking of my song, okay? I'm thinking, what am I going to do? Thank you so much, Julie and Vivian. All right, what y'all think I did when we got back? What y'all think I did? I'm going to tell you right now. Listen close, all right? So I'm going to teach you girls how to handle it, all right? Because some of y'all, this is your confirmation. You getting cheated on. You getting used. You getting treated like nothing, and you don't know what to do about it. Girls, I'm teaching you right now. That's why you're watching this. And that's why you're clicking like and click share. Because one of your bald-headed best friends need to hear this too. So listen. So we end up landing, right? And as we landed, listen to what I did. Listen to what I did. I looked at him and I said, baby, I said, when we landed, I got a text message from one of my friends. It was a lie. I got a text message from one of my friends. I said, baby, I said, let's do this, okay? I'm going to call myself an Uber so I can head out. I need to get to my friend to handle that, okay? Do you want an Uber or do you want to maybe do, I know your cars aren't working right now. Maybe I can give you cash for a taxi or something. You got a taxi stand. Because I just need to help my friend out. He's like, is everything okay? I was like, yeah. And so I was like, but I do need to handle this, okay? He was like, okay, cool. So as he's going to give me a kiss goodbye, I gave him the utter sign that I'm done. As we're leaving out the airport, right? And to go out into the air, I'm going to the Uber, he going to the taxi area. He go to lean towards me, all right, baby, he go to kiss me. I turn my head like this, and I give him that hug. You know the church lady hug, when you hug him from the side and you don't let your bosom touch him? I did like one of those kind of hugs, right? I did. Okay, baby. And he gave me that look like, you sure you're all right? I'm fine, baby. I'm sorry. I'm just stressed. Okay? Listen. I then got in that car and went straight to my house. When I got to my house, because he had some of his things at my house. Okay? Listen to what I did. 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 Okay? I got his things from my house. I took his things. Okay? I put them together. I even got a love note that he had given me. And I put those together too. I put it on top of the pile of things that he had. Okay? The shoes, the shirt, the drawers, the lotion, the everything. I put it together. I put the love note on top of it. He had given me a rose too. I love my roses. I hang them upside down so they can dry out. I'm one of those girls and I want to keep it sometimes. Okay? I put the rose on top of it and laid it across the love note, which was addressed to me. I then took it and I set it very nicely on my well-made bed. Because I made the bed. It needed to be set for the scene I was about to shoot. Because I was going to get my camera together. I then set it there on the bed. Then what I did, I want y'all to guess what I did next, honey, okay? Because this girl doesn't go down without a fight. Then what I did, thank you, Yolanda and Gloria, for sharing this video. What I then did was I said I could take a picture, but a picture doesn't do enough justice. A video's more appropriate. So what I then did, my God, today, I took this here phone. Of course, I wiped it off to make sure the screen was clear, honey. When a girl's about to shoot a movie, it needs to be epic. I then took it and I filmed all of the things that were there. I zoomed in on the love note and I read across it. You know, sometimes when people film things, they film too fast, you can't read it. I did it slowly. I then showed the bed. I then took the camera around to my closet where he had a couple items hanging in there to show his items hanging in the closet. For those girls who like my nails, the color is negligee. It's what a classy girl wears. Look for it. So anyway, I then showed it right there. What I was doing was I was establishing a connection. I was showing the people, not person, listen to me when I tell you this, the people who would eventually see this video. Not only has he been here, but he has a place here. I'm not just some bitter queen. I'm a person who he's connected to. Remember how I told you I took screenshots with my phone of the people he was texting with? Yvonne, the woman, and the man. All three, the three musketeers. Well, I also took pictures of their contacts, specifically their iMessage contacts. Okay? So what I then did, all right, was I then went to my other device that's not connected to my name. You hear me when I'm saying this, okay? I went to my other device, okay? I then, because I don't want anybody calling me back, I then put together a group message. Do you hear me? Not a group message to include him. That would come next, honey. A girl's got to be strategic. Okay? I put together a group message. And I sent the group message, right? Lisa Brown says, me, honey, I'm at work holding on. Listen. I then sent the group message to the queen bee, Yvonne, right? I then sent it also. I included the other woman, other man on there, right? And I said, I am coming to you with honesty and respect. I certainly do not mean to sow seeds of dissension. However, I do feel that it's best that you know what I recently discovered. The video will tell the story much better than my words can. Please, if you're driving, pull over. If you're not alone, I'd recommend that you be alone because this is something that may shock you. I click boop, boop, and sent it. I then, listen to me when I tell you this, girls, okay? When this queen put her crown back on, honey, Listen, when these men hurt you and these women hurt you, you got to put your crown back on and show them that you mean business, honey. All right? When you sit on your throne, you got to get them together. And when I sat on my throne, honey, what I then did was I took a screenshot of it. Because here's the thing. I wanted to just send him the message directly, one-on-one. I took a screenshot of what I had sent them. And note, I did not save their names, so he just could see their numbers. And then I took that screenshot and I sent it to him. Maya says she is clutching her pearls. I'm sorry. Maya, that's her name. All right, listen. I then sent this to him. Listen to me when I told you this, okay? Now, of course, girls, because I got sense, what did I do? I called security and I said to them, hey, listen, don't let him onto the property. All right, don't let him onto the property. I lived on the property. It's like a community or whatever. Don't let him onto the property. This man is banned, okay? Because I don't want nobody showing up at my door, okay, honey? If he did get past security, listen, I'm from Texas, if you know what I mean. All right. I believe in all my amendments, okay? And I believe in all of them. I protect my home. All right, listen. So listen, I wasn't scared, but listen, common sense. So I sent the picture to him. Now, he can get this picture and see these numbers on here. Of course, he's going to recognize Yvonne's number. That's your wife. He, of course, remember her number. But what about the other two numbers? So give him a little time to do a little digging. Next thing I know, I start to hear the phone going, boom, 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 boom. He calling back to back, right? I'm not answering. Next thing I know, I get a voice note. Hey, what's going on with this? What's going on with this? Call me right now. Call me right now, right? The phone is ringing, honey, right? He calls again. Answer the phone, right? It went from answer the phone to I got called. They went from, hey, what's going on? Why would you do this? You raggedy. I got called every name. But listen, I've been called worse by better people than you, honey. You ain't insulting me. I'm getting text messages after text messages. Of course, the other girls is calling me back. The other girls is calling me back on the other phone. So what mother do? She grabs the phone, right? She grabs the phone. I answered. I want the group message together at this point in time. I was like, hello, yeah, hey y'all. And they're like, hello, who is this? Right? I was like, well, listen. I was like, y'all have read it, y'all have saw it. I'm certain that some of y'all probably have your own suspicions, talking about Yvonne. I said, here's the thing, we're not here to argue with each other. And really and truly, it doesn't matter who we are. But just understand that I did see all of y'all's information in his device while he was away with me on a trip. And I met him on this date. And I spent this much time with him. And so I don't know if that conflicts with any of your experiences with him or what he's told you. But, I'm just putting that out there, okay? So, really and truly, we don't need to be talking to each other. I think we should all be figuring out if we want to talk to him at all. Hang up. Phone's still ringing, right? Eventually, I answered the phone. Hello? All I know is I have never so eloquently been cussed out in my life. This was epic. He connected curse words together better than I can. And I'm a cusser. You know what I'm saying? I got called every MF and BI. I swear he even pulled some cuss words out of other languages. I'm like, well, this is skillful. I want to write this down. I'm like, this is fabulous. I love this. I'm like, And he said, you better watch out. I said, is that a threat? I said, is that a threat, baby? He said, well, I said, is that a threat? I said, I think within all this, I think I heard a threat. I said, if it's a threat, baby, I'm calling the police. You can have more to deal with than just your wife and your two whores. I did say that. I shouldn't have said that. I was mad. They not whores. I just was being mad. And so I said, if that was a threat, you can have more to deal with than just that. So is that a threat? And he's like, I'm just saying, I need to see you right now. I said, baby, you will never see me again. I said, in fact, if you call me again, I'm going to get a restraining order against you because this is harassment at this point. I got the screenshots you called me. Why does anybody need to call someone 24 times within a 5-minute span, okay? And with your very aggressive text messages too, I'm sure the courts would be very compelled by that. I said, so you might want to check in on your wife, okay? Check in on her rather than calling me. Hung up the phone. Listen, girls, okay? So after I had done my waiting to exhale moment, my proverbial moment of, remember when Angela, when she was yanking herself out the closet, that was my moment of being dramatic. Girls, why did I break down crying? Because at the end of the day, I wasn't trying to be vindictive. I was hurt. And I was so hurt. Baby. I didn't want to come out the house for the next week. I was so sad. I was ashamed. I was all those things. But you know what powerful lesson I got out of that whole thing? When you are in your most lonely state, when you are most physically deprived, when you want a man or a woman so bad, that is not the time not to date. Some people say, oh, don't date. Just be chill. Just chill and see what happens. No, you better always be active and intentional about what you want. Listen, that's not the time not to date, but that is the time to go slow. That's the time to trust your instincts, and more important than anything else, that is the time that you tell at least 2 to 3 people about what you're doing in your dating experiences. Anytime that you feel that you need to date in secrecy is a time that you need to be aware that you're about to take a risk. Because if this person was above board and you had no red flags, then why can't you share with other people? We have to date within community, because at times, no matter how smart we are, how strong we are, if we shut other people out of our dating lives and out of our big decisions, we can miss red flags. We can miss triggers. We can miss things that our trauma, our drama, and our stuff may cause us to overlook. Never date in silence. Never date in isolation. And more important than anything else, if you are lonely, if you feel deprived, that is the time to go slow. Because there are sharks out there, and they will take your vulnerability, your silence, and your loneliness as blood in the water, and they will attack. All right, y'all? To all my queens out there and to South Africa, thank you so much for embracing me. I wore this in honor of South Africa. I just wanted to say, I said, because I want to wear something that embodies putting your crown back on, honey. We are queens and kings. Listen to me when I tell you this right now. And anytime that you're allowing yourself to be treated like less than one, you put your crown back on and go to war and do what you got to do to protect yourself and, more importantly, protect your heart. I love y'all, and I'll see you on the next story time.